Children come first until they start to be at least somewhat self-sufficient. I was on Facebook recently and a guy got very upset with me because I said that. And it was very interesting to me. But then I realized that from the time a woman gets pregnant, the man, the father, doesn't experience parenthood the same as the mother does. As soon as a woman knows that she's pregnant, most responsible mothers change their diet. They change their exercise patterns. They start taking prenatal vitamins. They start going to prenatal visits with their doctor. They change everything about themselves. They buy a maternity wardrobe. They may have to sleep more. They may have to use the restroom more. They may have to do all kinds of things because the child is now coming first. It doesn't matter whether she wants to do these things. If she is actually being a responsible mother, she's going to do them because the child is going to come first. And whenever that child decides it's ready to be born, she's going to have to put aside everything to go and give birth to that child. And the father doesn't necessarily have to be there in the delivery room. It would be wonderful if he is. And in fact, it would probably help her a lot. The research says it helps her a lot with her stress when he's there. And it also helps the newborn baby if it is able to lay on the father's, chest, skin to skin, and bond. It bonds the father and the newborn baby because of the oxytocin that's released between the two of them. So that's when it begins. And when that child is released to the custody of the parents, it comes first. When it needs to be fed, somebody's got to feed it. When it needs to be changed, somebody's got to change it. When it wakes up in the middle of the night, somebody's got to get up. And so it doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter if you're sleepy. It doesn't matter if you're frustrated or angry or depressed or going through postpartum depression. It doesn't matter any of that. Someone is going to have to put that child first and put their feelings to the side and deal with the needs of that child, that baby, that infant, that newborn. And then as it grows, there may be more of a shift back to the normal dynamic of the relationship between the parents coming first and the relationship with the child coming second. But when that child gets sick, that dynamic may shift again. So this idea that there's never a time when children should come first is one reason why I think that research says that 60% of marriages either end after parenthood or are on the brink of ending, and that the relationship dynamic shifts tremendously, and that a lot of people don't ever fully recover because of the changes that happen. If a man doesn't understand that a child is going to change the dynamic, especially in the beginning, then he has not fully prepared himself for fatherhood or parenthood. And just because he's not physically carrying that baby doesn't mean that he isn't going to have to make changes if he wants to be an effective partner with that woman. So I think we need to think about things and understand that just because you chose a woman or you married a woman, you're not always going to come first. Sometimes she's going to come first. Sometimes the child is going to come first. And really, to be honest, that's what leadership is. Leadership is actually putting the needs of the people underneath you before your own and doing what is best for those who you are, quote, providing and protecting or leading. That's really what leadership is. It's being a servant. It's not expecting to always come first. So I think we need to think about what we think being a father means, being a leader means, if we have this attitude that a child is never going to come first or a child should never come first. Because I think that that's a very immature and short-sighted way to look at parenthood or relationships.